the Elite Eight for me. If Flag's healthy, I'll go Duke. If not, I'll take either one, Alabama or BYU.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and for the month of March, our wind-up Wednesday becomes men's tournament action, so we'll put the NBA on pause. Don't worry, when we get back, Cleveland and Boston will still be in first place in the East, and Oklahoma City will still be in first place in the West, and they'll still shove the Lakers down your throat, so have no fear. We're going to put a pin in it, as we say in education, and get back to it in a few weeks. So segment one, we're going to go through the East region, so get your pens and paper ready, strictly for entertainment purposes only. We'll also do the West region in segment one. In segment two, we'll do the South region, and we'll also do the Midwest region. And in segment three, we'll try to pick a little bit for the Final Four, which I will attend. And hopefully my main man, Robert, can hang out with us today and down in San Antonio. So let's get with it. East region. My projected winner in the East is Duke Blue Devils. Okay. Cooper or not, I'm not overly impressed with the teams in the East, but I'm going to give you three teams to watch. Watch Baylor, watch Liberty, and watch BYU. Go ahead and watch them. Teams to root for. American and the Mount are playing their local teams to our area. I know their staffs very well. I'm extra rooting for American. Dwayne Simpkins is not only the head coach, but a very close friend. And his director of operations, executive assistant, Keith Bird. Hey, man, Keith got his coaching start with Keith Adams. So we're really rooting for American to make the main game, if you will. Watch Akron. Watch VCU because they play defense, and watch Vanderbilt. Xavier Joyner, local guy, JMU staff, went over to Vanderbilt, and Xavier used to coach at PGCC, for those who remember those days. And by the way, don't pick these teams. Don't pick Mississippi State, don't pick Oregon, and don't pick Wisconsin. All right. So with us, team leader extraordinaire Mike King. Mike, in the East, who's your projected winner?
How healthy is Cooper Flag?
I don't think it matters, but I'm looking at these teams, and the East doesn't pause me. But
I like Alabama, and I like
okay.
BYU.
All right.
If Duke was completely healthy, I think they kind of walk away with it. If Cooper Flag is 80%, if you're 80% and you've got the NBA in a couple months, are you actually 50%? Like how much are you risking to get Duke another Final Four? I don't know. So Alabama's good. They're well coached. They've been good for a while now. But BYU is the team that kind of jumps out at me, is because Wisconsin, I don't think they should be a 3 seed. I look at Maryland's resume and Wisconsin's resume, and to me that Maryland beat them head to head. They're better. So Wisconsin, I don't think is all that good. I think Alabama is going to come through the bottom, but I think they're playing BYU. And then for the Elite Eight for me, if Flag's healthy, I'll go Duke. If not, I'll take either one, Alabama or BYU.
All right. Is there anybody you're particularly rooting for in the East?
I'm rooting against Duke. That's I think BYU.
Okay. And is there anybody you're not going to pick? Don't put them in your bracket. Leave alone.
Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I'll give them one game and that's it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And our favorite administrator and Texas current resident, Robert Abney. Robert, who is your projected winner out of the East?
You know, I have a hard time picking against Duke. I really do. I just think Alabama has been way too inconsistent. They're really good. I'm not really rooting for anybody in particular. I think that I think Mississippi State is going to win that 9 game, and I think they could, just SEC toughness. I think they could give Duke a little bit of trouble that second day.
Is there anybody you're not picking? Don't put them in your bracket, folks.
Well, I'll tell you who I'm not picking that you guys like is BYU. I saw them play. I saw them play Houston in the Big 12 semifinals, and Houston just absolutely punked them. They couldn't handle the athleticism. They couldn't handle the aggressiveness. They have a really talented young point guard from Idaho, and he wilted. He could not handle the pressure. The other team I'm not picking is St. Mary's.
Thank you for that one, Robert. I appreciate it.
I think that athleticism is going to give them a hard time, and they have potentially two SEC teams in a row, and that I don't think either of those teams are good matchups for St. Mary's. So I'm staying away from BYU and St. Mary's.
Yeah, I like BYU only because of proximity to BYU too. I think they're playing in Denver or something like that. So I know they're going to have fan support, so that might help them out a little bit. So we'll see how far that takes it because, yes, Houston did take a little bit of their lunch money. All right, we're going to go to the West. My projected winner in the West is Florida. I like Florida. I watch Florida a lot. My team to watch for the wrong reason is Memphis because their best player, I think, is hurt. You do need to watch Colorado State because they're good. They're really good. Got to watch Maryland because they're local and Mike King's on the show. And believe it or not, gentlemen, I think Mr. Calipari might get out of the first round. I think he might get out of the first round. Teams I'm rooting for, Norfolk State, because a lot of my family members went there. I'm also rooting for Grand Canyon University. I will wear my GCU shirt to school on Friday. Drake is good, and that's where the Drake Group was founded. So go Drake Group, TDG. And I like the gimmick with the trash can with Omaha. They ain't going to get them far, but it's a good gimmick, and they got an AEW belt. I'm going to tell you who not to pick. Oklahoma, stay away from them. Missouri, stay away from them. And by all means, please, for God's sake, stay away from Kansas. Kansas is going to cost people money. Hey, KJ said today, Robert, Hunter Dickinson's still in college. I said, stop that. But you didn't lie. All right, so Robert, I'm going to go to you first. Who are you looking at as a projected winner in the West? And then go on with the rest of your picks, sir.
Florida's really good.
They're good.
I think Florida and St. John's, and that's what I see as a final. I think St. John's could really give them some trouble. I think St. John's is athletic enough and guards well enough that they could slow them down a little bit. That said, I mean, I like Colorado State at least to win a game. I think that Memphis is. I think that seed's a little high, and Colorado State is capable, and also I like Grand Canyon as well. Although I think Maryland will handle them fairly easily. I like Drake a lot. I think Missouri has kind of been smoke and mirrors the past few weeks, and I like Texas Tech. Texas Tech plays really good basketball. I can see them making the Sweet 16. Yeah, and I'm definitely staying away from Kansas, let me tell you.
Okay. Mike King.
Get away from Kansas.
Get away from him. Who's your projected winner? And go ahead through, sir.
I mean, it's Maryland. We all know it's Maryland. You don't have to admit it if you don't want to, but we're getting to Maryland, St. John's, Elite Eight. Me and Will, we're gonna battle, and then we're gonna see. We've got a better net than they do. I mean, honestly, you look at Florida. Obviously, seems to be the team. They were 10-4 against Quad One. Maryland was 8-7, so they played a similar amount of good games. Florida won a couple extra. Maryland lost 4 games, 3 of them Quad One, by buzzer beaters. I mean, there's a world where Maryland's a 1 or 2 seed if all these horrific losses didn't happen. I would just say the starting 5 is as good as anybody. After that, It's not. But what do you
You
say?
got a lot of TV timeouts to stay out of foul trouble.
What
You
do you
should be
say during
fine.
tournament time? How deep should you go? Six?
5 to
Five?
play, 8 to win, 9 if you have foul trouble, and subtract 1 every round of the postseason. So by the time you get to the end, you're not playing a lot of people.
I'm just saying Florida's probably going to win, but I don't think they want to see Maryland. I think they'd much rather see Memphis. You don't want to see Derek Queen. He's too good as an individual. And when you get to the tournament, one guy could win it. And Derek Queen's going to be the best player on the court in a lot of these games if Maryland goes deep.
Yes, but here's my pushback on Maryland, and here's my pushback on St. John's. A lot of people are talking about St. John's, and that's your bugaboo. And I actually think Arkansas can beat them. I do. I think that they're matched up there. The last 10 seconds of the Maryland-Michigan game tells you why I'm paused. On Maryland, it's about coaching because you have elite talent. And for Maryland not to, in that situation against Michigan with them on the free throw line, to put a guy at the table to sub in so you can walk very slowly, point out all your matchups, make sure the world is safe, and make the referee say, hurry up. Sorry about that. Tie your shoe. Who do you got? Who do we need to get? No, you did none of that. They threw it in, gave it to the guard, and that guy didn't even weave, Mike. He went straight down the middle and shot a left-hand layup. Hey, wait, kids, you can work on your left hand. And they win the game. And you keep losing close games, and philosophically, that's on your bench. That's on your coaching staff. So that's my beef with Maryland. It is not a talent thing. When you have elite versus elite, Auburn,
who's a better coach?
You're going to go to that sideline. Robert, am I crazy? You could talk me off a ledge.
No, I agree with you on that.
And they're going to extend this guy who hasn't won anything yet. What are y'all, the Buffalo Bills, extending people when you don't have to?
College money's all fake. The money's coming in from somewhere. It'll go from this pot to this pot. If when they got to get rid of them, they'll get rid of them.
All right. So, fans, when we get back in segment 2, we're going to finish our initial preview. And then segment 3, we'll see if our 4s are correct. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggles student athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard-earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA Safe Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real-life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student-athlete success. I believe every student-athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.ckasafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student athlete succeed. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 2. Let's hit the South region. So, believe it or not, my projected winner is Auburn because these teams aren't very good and they don't pause me. So your talent should be elite. But I'm going to give you some teams to watch. UC San Diego can play, okay? Iowa State is a team to watch because they lost their best player, and Marquette defends, so they always got a shot. But I'm going to tell you who I'm rooting for, and that's the University of North Carolina. I don't care that they got in. Their net ranking was 30-something, so don't tell me about somebody's net in the 50s. I told you all year The net matters. So yes, they were 1-10. Yes, they have no business in the tournament, but hey, data rules. So let's go with the data. And please don't pick Texas A&M. That's me. Mike, what do you got about the South region, sir?
Is North Carolina in, or do they have to win one of those fake games to get in?
No, I think they're in.
Yeah, they're in the first round games.
Okay, yeah, they're in the first. They have to win to get into the tournament.
Correct.
Okay, against to play Ole Miss, is that it?
They play San Diego State to play
Ole Miss. Yeah. I like Michigan State. I mean, Auburn's really good, but Michigan State, every single time you get to this time of year, they lose a couple early. They play good teams just to get them tested, and when it matters, Tom Izzo is built for this tournament. I look at the bottom of that bracket; it doesn't really scare me too much. I really like Richardson, Jason Richardson's kid. He's real good. Once they put him in, they started winning a lot. So, yeah, once they started giving him minutes, I kind of think Michigan State on the bottom, and I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Auburn. But I will say, Michigan, they've got those two gigantic people.
Area 51 or something like that.
I mean, against Maryland, and Maryland's got two bigs. They out rebounded them 41-16, something crazy.
Yeah.
But then they only won by one. So even though they've got that advantage, they don't take advantage of it. So Michigan, in a one-off, they're scary. I don't know if they could go on a run. I'm thinking Michigan State beats Auburn. That's the upset for me.
All right, Robert, what are you thinking about with the South?
I think it's hard to pick against Auburn. I just don't see there's nobody in that bracket that just makes me go, oh, they got to look out for them. I definitely would stay away from Texas A&M as well because and not just because they can't make free throws or 3-point shots, but also Yale is pretty good. So that could be your 4-13 upset right there. And and UC San Diego is very good as well. Yeah. I have to root for the Lobos because
they're good. They got a shot. They do.
That's Marquette's not a terrible draw for them. No. That's not a bad draw for them at all. I'd rather them play Marquette than maybe UConn or Creighton or somebody like that. I think that's a decent draw for them. Definitely stay. I mean, by the way, North Carolina and Texas both ought to be ashamed of themselves. Both of them.
We knew the rules to the test, sir.
I don't care what the rules are. Both of them ought to be ashamed of themselves. And I hope San Diego State beats the brakes off them. I would also stay away from Iowa State. I think they just are down the stretch. They've kind of foundered a little bit. Wouldn't surprise me to see an Auburn Michigan State final, but I think I'm going to take Auburn.
All right, and let's go. I'm sorry. Let's go to the Midwest. My projected winner is Houston. I am a top-heavy guy for this tournament only because there's no real dark horse. No real top team. So let's go with the talent. And Houston's old enough to deal with whatever's coming. I'll just say it that way. Team to watch on my end. Watch Georgia, because when you have a top-heavy conference that's got 14 teams in it like the SEC, Georgia's used to playing people. So they're not going to be worried about playing you when they've played that murderer's row all year. McNeese is good. Will Wade can coach, and he can give you a strong offer. I'll just say that. And Kentucky is a team to watch. And a team to root for, guys, we all got to root for High Point. My man Ock is an alum, and God bless him. He's got both his men and women in there. I'm rooting for Texas because the BCA is real. And Utah State's good. Utah State is very good. So keep an eye on them. Don't pick Gonzaga. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. No. I'm going to tell you now, don't pick Clemson. The ACC was trash this year. Trash. Straight trash, homie. Hot garbage. So they ain't no dadgum good. And no thank you to Purdue. No thank you to Purdue at all. Mike, what you got in the Midwest, sir?
I like whoever comes out of the bottom. Kentucky and Tennessee are going to meet in the Sweet 16, or No, yeah, Sweet 16. And then whoever wins that one and gets Houston in the Elite Eight, I kind of like them. Give me Kentucky or Tennessee to get out of this bracket. Houston's good,
But they
but
can't hit free throws. I know. I know.
yeah, and Clemson doesn't. I mean, when the bracket was being said and Clemson was 5, I was hoping Maryland was going to get this 4, and it went to Purdue. Although High Point's good. I think that's a tougher 13. We'll see. But at Purdue, I like to beat Clemson and lose to Houston. Houston, kind of think Tennessee beats Kentucky, but neither team would surprise me. But yeah, I'm going to go with a 2 or a 3 when I do my bracket in this region.
All right. Robert, what are you thinking about the Midwest, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Mike. I mean, I think the final is probably going to be Houston and Tennessee. With Houston, you know what you're going to get. The big problem for them is that when they need a bucket, the guy they go to is a 60% free throw shooter, and that's a problem, right? Because down the stretch, if you got to have a bucket, that Tennessee has enough guys, they'll just throw somebody at him and foul him, make him make free throws. And can he do that? I don't know. Houston is good enough to win it all, though. I mean, they just guard you. They guard you, and they're old. They don't get rattled. That's a good team. So between them and Tennessee, that's a tough choice. I am definitely staying away from Gonzaga. I am definitely staying away from Clemson. I am definitely staying away from Illinois. If I were looking at somebody interesting, I'd say Utah State maybe. I don't think UCLA is very good. I think Utah State can win that. And High Point, let's see it. Purdue's not great. They can win that game. So,
and Ark will be insufferable if High Point wins a tournament game, just like I'd be insufferable if my Lopes got it. So anyway, fans, in segment 3, we're going to try to pick a Final Four. And we'll talk to you about some of the things that CKA and the OCP are going to do when we get to Alamo Town. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CKA Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches Podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3, National Semifinals and Championship. So my prediction, I'm all going with ones because that's just kind of how I see it. Duke, Florida, Auburn, and Houston. Mike, what do you got?
I'm going to go. I got to do it. Maryland, Michigan State, Alabama, and Tennessee.
All right. Robert, what do you got?
Wow. Let's see. I like Houston. I'm taking Houston. I'm gonna take Auburn. I'm gonna take St. John's, and I'm gonna take Alabama.
All right. So we got coming in, hot off the presses, High Point most famous alum. And in segment 3, I'm going to, before I give advice to players, coaches, and spectators, I'm going to allow our good friend George Ockett to talk whatever he wants to about High Point. George, we're in segment 3. Welcome. Go after it for High Point, sir. State your case to the country.
I don't need to state the case. We're getting past the first round. That's all that matters. We're getting a win. Purdue ain't ready. Purdue don't want to see this. Don't want to see this. I know I'm late coming in. I just have one question before you go.
All right.
Because I know y'all discussed this. How does Carolina get into the tournament?
Okay. So, George, the net is what matters. And they are in the, Mike will tell me if I'm wrong, they're in the 30s, like 35, 36, 37.
I got it
like
here.
that.
They are 36. But here's the thing.
36. Go ahead, Mike.
The net doesn't matter. The net matters when they say it matters. Maryland's net is 10. Wisconsin's 15. We beat Wisconsin. They're a higher seed than us. Explain. There's nothing. We got more quad 1 wins. We played more quad. Everything about our resume destroys Wisconsin, but they're a higher seed because the net is it's just fake. They use it to put bumpers on for the blue blood schools.
Let's look at this.
Bumpers on the bowling alley for UNC.
No, because let's look at this. West Virginia, I'm just going to pull them out the hat. Look at their number of quad 1 wins versus North Carolina. How is this even a conversation right now? I don't even know how it's even a conversation.
If I'm not mistaken, sir, the North Carolina strength of schedule was in the top 20, possibly even top 10.
Was 1-12 in quad 1.
Thank you. They got demolished.
1-12.
Yes.
Demolished.
That's bad.
That's bad. That's very bad.
West Virginia quad
West Virginia was 6-10. So they played more. They played a harder schedule.
Yeah, thank you.
And they won 5 more quad 1 games.
Thank you. That's all.
Okay.
That's all I came in with. That's all I came in with.
Well,
and Robert, it's good to see you, baby.
Final advice before I pass it off to my folks. We're going to give advice to players, coaches, and fans. So, players, I had the pleasure of watching 7-on-7 football with our good friend George here, and we need you to be consistent. That's it. So all year long, we hope you've developed great habits. You just have a few more eyeballs watching you, but you're still playing basketball. So I hope you worked on being consistent, not getting too high, not getting too low, just coming and putting in the work every day. This is not the opportunity or the time for you to pull new things out of your bag. This is not the time to shoot threes if you never shot them before. This is not the time to show your extra move from the playground. Just be simple, just be basic. Coaches, it's not about you. So please don't overcall timeout. Don't overdo anything. Just be simple. Just be basic. Your team already has an identity. And Robert, that's one of the reasons why I like Houston. It's because I know exactly what I'm going to get out of them. And other teams aren't ready for that level of heat. And fans, have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Go pick silly because you know the kid at the water cooler who picks on mascots is going to do better than you. So it's okay. That's fine. Mike, any advice for players, coaches, or fans as we wrap up?
For the players, listen to the coaches if they're good. If not, do it yourself. Coaches, for Kevin Willard, just, I don't know, study what to do with 20 seconds left. Can't hurt. Just read a book, 20 seconds to go. What do you do? I'm sure there's good video on YouTube. You can find something. And what the fans, you got to find that. Don't drink too much that you don't enjoy the game. Be smart. Don't do anything stupid. You're paying good money for those seats.
And no tweeting children.
Yes.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Robert, any advice for the players, coaches, and the fans?
I think my advice for the players and the coaches is the same. Time and score. Time and score. be aware. And for the fans, you got to enjoy the ride because it's fun. You ain't having fun, what are you doing?
Exactly. And George, any advice for players, coaches, and fans?
Players and coaches, the measurements are the same as they are in your gym. The basket's the same height. Don't tight buttholes lose championships. So let's stay away from don't be afraid of the stage. You're there for a reason. For the fans, that you remember, we're still most of them are still kids. Not all of them, but most of them are still kids. So the death threats and the threats and stuff against them if they miss a shot or have a bad game, it isn't worth it. It's nothing worth it. It's just a basketball game. It's just a basketball game.
All right. Excellent. So as we close, a couple of things going on with March Madness. The CKA Save Project is having a watch party for the Elite Eight. If you are local to the DMV, District, Maryland, Virginia, Saturday, March 29th, 5 to 9 at the Green Turtle in Burtonsville. Suggested donation is $50. Come on, reconnect, have a good time. And we will be in San Antonio, Texas, conducting research. The CKA Save Project is doing 3 groundbreaking research studies, and hopefully we can get some participation at the Final Four. We're doing an extended study on student-athlete motivation in this changing landscape. We're also doing student-athletes' perspectives on collective bargaining because people are asking them questions that they don't know the answer to, we think, and coaching in the era of NIL and the transfer portal. So this should be a good time had by all. Robert, I'm hoping you can make it and hang out with us. Any thoughts about San Antonio and any recommendations? Because you've been there a few times.
Well, I'm planning on being there, so that's one thing. If we're going to get a burger, we got to go to Chris Madrid's, and at some point we got to go to the Esquire Tavern.
Done and done. So
churros. Make sure you have some churros while you're out there.
I might go to the Alamo, but I was underwhelmed because it was like a box. It's not very, So on behalf of
it is very small.
It
really
small.
is.
It is
very small.
And I'm like, you save this? Okay. All right. So on behalf of our Cavalcade of Stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast. Shout out to the Cascade Sports Network, and we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.